What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Dougie Fresh. Yeah, as you see, I've been a little bit busy. That's why this video is getting out a little bit late. I'm actually doing this on one of the only lunches that I've gotten recently. So got the high vis on. Sorry about the bright colors, but it's better than no video at all. So we're gonna go ahead and quickly get into the show because I got limited time on a lunch break, and who knows when I'm going to get called. So, uh, thanks again for popping in. This is a little bit of a week 8 weight loss recap. Um, week's reflections. So the basically first full week of March. Um, working a lot as usual, but I was able to slip a day off in, which was amazing. That was very nice. Um, got to catch up on some much needed sleep, but had to take the day off because I had to go to the dentist for a cleaning, just make sure everything's okay. Got the clean bill of health, everything with that. But night before that, was able to take the wife out to dinner, and we'll get more into that a little bit later. But got to go out to a concert, and that was awesome. I haven't been out to see some live music in a hot minute, and there's just something about live music that I don't know. I just can't help myself. It seems like every time I go to a concert, I like leave the concert looking for more concerts to go to. I, it funny. I was at the concert and actually bought tickets to 3 concerts while waiting for uh, the main act to come on. So, yeah, it's kind of an addiction, live music for me. Love it. So that was nice. Got to go out with her. Got to go out with the boys. Got the Johnny couldn't make it. He was away on work or whatever, but I got to get out with the boys. Bologna and HBIC. Went went to a bar and then went out for some tacos. So we'll get into that too. But it was nice. So I ended up having a day off and a couple of nights out. So that was awesome. So we'll get right on into this, and we'll get right into our flights of stairs, miles walked, and exercising. Um, this week, I ended up doing 22 and a half miles of walking just in my normal job. Um, and then I ended up doing 55 flights of stairs at work. I was on Tuesday, I was able to work out. I did some stairs. Nothing too crazy, just kind of bouncing around. And then I worked out again on Thursday with a slight hangover, and the boys are to blame for that. But well, I mean, the whiskey's to blame for that. Uh, but yeah, it was so again not a full week of exercise, which was kind of a bummer. But I'm doing what I can with my schedule and everything like that, and still trying to move around. So is what it is. Once I kind of hopefully work slows down a little bit, I get more frequency with lunches. Hopefully, I'll be able to, use that whole, lunch hour to go ahead and hit the treadmill or, whatever, hit some stairs, even walk around outside if the weather's nice enough. That's the main goal. So we will get there sooner or later. Um, but let's get right into our fasting. So Monday into Tuesday, I did a 48-hour fast. Um, it just so happened it just worked out. I'm sorry, it wasn't Monday into Tuesday. Ugh. It was Thursday into Friday. Thursday into Friday, I ended up doing a fast. It's just super busy and just eh, needless to say, um, it got to the point to where, like, I was about to eat, and, it was too late. So, I didn't wanna I'm trying really, really hard to keep a strict time frame on my, eating schedule, and, I didn't wanna eat that late and have that just sit on me. So, I just fasted. Um, but, the next day, made up for it. Um, and did a 24-hour fast, had some dinner. Next day after that, I did a 24-hour fast. Then I got to go into school. I'm going to school for my water license to be a water operator. And the class goes a little bit later. So I ended up doing a 29-hour fast. Following night, went out with the boys. Didn't really have much in the way to eat until later. So that was a 24-hour fast as well. Um, and then Thursday, I fasted. So I did not eat. So that was a 48-hour fast from basically Wednesday to Friday. But yeah. So now that we're on the topic of fasting, I actually had a couple questions. And I really appreciate them because people are asking me questions, which means they're watching, which is very rewarding. I had a lot of people asking me about what I'm doing fasting wise, and I believe I may have left a very key point out of what I've been telling you guys. Um, Water and coffee, black coffee is my main focus on when I do that. But what I do under so I talked to a doctor and I also talked to a dietitian. Um, Dietitian I haven't talked to in quite some time, a couple of years, but the doctor, I always talk about fasting with him and stuff like that. I got a cool little messaging thing to where like I can message him if I have any questions and stuff like that. So if you ever go to do start fasting, that's what I would honestly do first is consult your doctor and make sure that that's something that they advise you to do. Um, but the key thing that I left out is every so often, if I start feeling a little sluggish, I make sure that I'm hydrated with a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. Now, I will add this into like a 24-ounce water. I will add about an eighth of a teaspoon. So, eighth of a teaspoon, you'll taste just a slight saltiness. The best way that I could describe it to you is if you've ever drinking Pedialyte, Pedialyte has that slight tinge of like a saltiness. That's basically what it is. The salt hydrates you, which you would think, totally different, like you have too much salt and you're thirsty all the time. Well, it actually does hydrate you. So that's one thing that I do quite often on the days where I don't eat. I'll throw a little pink Himalayan salt in with a water or two, and I will make sure that I drink a ton of water. So that is one key thing, and I can't remember in the past videos if I mentioned it or not. So I felt the need to mention that, and also the need to mention that make sure you are under the care of a doctor. You know, if you want to fast, go for it. You do whatever you want. But am making sure that I'm taking the proper steps for my family and making sure that I'm healthy and I'm doing the right thing and it's not just me, starving myself. There's actually a method behind the madness. And like I've said before, the mental clarity that you get from fasting is unbelievable. Once you break that wall of hunger, which you realize is just all up here and not here. Um, Once you break that wall of that, I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, there are people online or whatever and that I've followed and there's people of, 40, 50, 60-day fasts and there's a method to the madness and it's really is cool. So that I'm actually going to tell you guys starting today on Monday, I am going to be doing a 5-day bone broth fast. So first time I've ever done a bone broth fast. Kind of always intrigued me, but never really dove into it and kind of did some research when I had a little bit of time over the weekend. And so what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be doing 24-hour fasts, but then at night I am going to have 2 of these. Okay. Now these aren't cheap. They're like, I think like $6 a piece or 6.99 a piece. But I'm gonna do 2 of these. And each one of them is just a little bit over a pound. So it's gonna be consuming basically 2 pounds of um, bone broth. And total calories for the 2 of them is gonna be 600, I'm sorry, ugh, 160 calories. So not a lot of calories, but the big thing, no carbs. And for the 2 of those, 38 grams of protein. So I will be still getting my protein, no carbs. So I'm good on that. And I might doctor them up a little bit with the salt. I've tried the chicken one before and it needed a little salt. So um, I look forward to trying those tonight. So that's gonna be the next 5 days. I got some chicken, I got some beef, and yeah. So I'm gonna be doing a bone broth fast. So I'm super excited. Can't wait to see the results of that. I really wanted to do something before I go on vacation to kind of really like cleanse the system and kind of go into my douchebaggery, you know, clean and and flushed out. And so yeah, so that's my game plan with that. So let's go ahead and get into my meals. uh as I was saying, on last Thursday I ended up fasting into Friday. um and then Friday I ended up doing a uh braised beef short ribs. So this is a braised beef short ribs with a mushroom gravy sauce on top of some cauliflower mash potatoes, potatoes, cauliflower mash. Um, the big thing that I could highly suggest to you when you're doing cauliflower mash, um, definitely after you're done boiling the cauliflower, take it to a strainer and use a towel and make sure you really just push the excess liquid out of it, because that's the big thing. When you go ahead and you get the cauliflower mash in the store and stuff like that, they don't smash out the liquid because it's just not cost effective for them. So what they'll do is they just go ahead and mash that thing, and that's why it's like basically like soupy. I mean, it's like a potato soup. Most of those mashed potatoes that you get from the store, mashed potatoes. I keep saying it. Cauliflower mash. Um, Now you smash the water out of them, and then you can doctor them up. It does the trick. Trust me. I am a mashed potato whore. Uh, Mashed potatoes are literally one of my favorite. They're my favorite side dish for sure. Um, but there are a lot of things that I would pass up to go have a second helping of like legit mashed potatoes. So every time I get that craving, cauliflower mash, 100%. That's what I'm doing. So uh, after all that, Sunday took my wife out to Perry's Steakhouse before we went out to the concert. And man, we had some really good food, and I was able to stay pretty much on my diet. Um, I didn't have anything to drink at dinner, even though they have a decent beer selection. Didn't have anything to drink at dinner. We did a small seafood tower, which was lobster, shrimp. It was supposed to be smoked salmon, but they were out of smoked salmon, so they gave me extra shrimp. I'm not mad at it. I mean, I do like smoked salmon, but shrimp shrimp are my last meal going to the chair, death chamber type stuff. I am the king of shrimp. I absolutely love shrimp. Um, some really, really fresh oysters. You could tell, I eat enough oysters where you can tell like what has been sitting around, what was really fresh. Those were super fresh. And then in that little cup right underneath the lemon, um, was some fresh crab, and that was phenomenal too. So I didn't use any of the dipping sauces because I know that they're loaded up with sugar and cocktail sauces. I didn't do any of that or whatever. Um, yeah, I just went to town on that. I mean, that was phenomenal. Then where I kind of cheated a little bit was I had myself a wedge salad. So tomatoes aren't super keto friendly. And I know the dressing that they do, it's actually it's like their signature dressing, but what it is it's ranch and Italian mixed together. But it's really freaking good. And enjoy a wedge salad. It's just something about the blue cheese and the wedge and the crispiness of it and everything like that. And who doesn't love bacon? So that was phenomenal. Next thing that I had was their famous pork chop, and this is a 3-bone pork chop. Mine actually had a 4th bone. Uh, this thing is a freaking monster. I mean, monster. They carve it right at your table. The reason why the picture's blurry is because, it's on a sizzle plate, and I was trying to get so close to it, but, like, the steam coming off the sizzle plate just kinda kept blurring up the camera. So, like, I was trying to, like, get it into focus before he started cutting it, but it just didn't happen. But so the way that they break this thing down is, they trim off the ribs, so then you basically have, like, yourself 3 to 4 ribs. Um, then they trim off this top part, which they call the eyelash, which is, like, the juiciest part. It's just it's just unbelievable contrast of, fat and meat. It's just so good. And then your main portion. This thing had so much freaking meat. I mean, I could have probably had it twice. I could have had it twice. So I ate what I could until I was full. Um, and then I took the rest home. And I'm telling you, I could have made 3 meals out of it. I only made 2 meals out of it, which I'll talk about next week. Um, but my God, I mean, it's in I'm not like I don't get paid nothing by Perry's or anything like that, but the deal is it's 49 bucks and you get a super salad, you get that pork chop, and you could choose either a side or a dessert. So I went with the asparagus. I went with a grilled asparagus. But I mean, who wants to see asparagus? So I didn't even bother showing a picture of that. Um, but yeah, I mean, for 49 bucks, I mean, dude, it isn't even really about the money, but I was just like, man, I mean, deep value on that thing, and that's like their Sunday special. You can get that pork chop on Friday afternoons. If you go in there for lunch, it's just a pork chop, but for 20 bucks. And it's just it's cooked to perfection. Honest to God. Like I am very, very finicky on my pork just because pork can get dried out really, really fast. And if you have dry pork, fuck it, forget about it. Like it's just garbage. It's like chewing a baseball mitt. It just doesn't do anything for me. But this is cooked to perfection. I mean, it's perfect. It's got a nice little smoke to it. Highly recommend it. So after that, um, moving on to Monday. Monday, I made I made like a combo bowl. So I did little sausage, threw that on the smoker. As you could see, there was a nice little smoke ring on that. I got some Italian beef underneath there, with some mozzarella, and then some hot giardiniera relish on top. I'm a big giardiniera relish guy. I don't know how you guys are, but I like it. I like it minced up pretty fine. I dig it. But yeah, that was pretty good. A little bit of juice underneath there. Um, just good stuff. Good stuff. I was craving Italian beef, and that definitely hit the spot on on Tuesday. Because I had school. Mary ended up doing some ground beef tacos. So I just had some ground beef tacos with some of those zero carb tortillas. So it was a nice little, hey, boom boom eat, like let's get it out of the way. Now, as I was saying before, Wednesday night, me and the boys went out, had ourselves a good old time. You can see I'm feeling myself at this point. And yes, your eyes are not mistaking you. That's a Modelo in front of me. I let myself go a little bit, was enjoying myself a couple whiskeys, and there is just something about when you're at a decent Mexican restaurant and, like, the smell of, like, fresh Mexican food is being made. I don't know. I couldn't help myself. I'm like, "Give me a beer." Bologna's like, "No, no, don't." I'm like, "Nope. Have myself a beer, man." So I limited myself to 2, so everything in moderation or whatever, but, yeah, so this is the Mexican shrimp cocktail, and, I was telling these guys and raving to them about it the last time, and, I think it hit on all cylinders. I guess I never really asked them, but, super fresh, just flavor fucking bomb, man. So many levels of it. Literally one of my favorite things. This on the Bumcast, I was saying this is one of my Super Bowl foods. Like this, I have to have every Super Bowl. Fucking delicious. And if I don't, I'm disappointed. But yeah. So then after that, had myself another Modelo. Still feeling myself. I don't know what I was doing there. Ladies in the background are trying to close the place up, but us being us. Um, yeah, I had myself 3 El Pastor tacos. My God, I can't even tell you the joy that this fat guy had when he was able to eat a corn tortilla. Dude, it's just when you're craving a corn tortilla, there's no substitute at all. And I know I've talked about this before, but there's just absolutely no substitute for it. There's nothing that's gonna stop that craving until you have it. And so I was able just 3 tacos and a little bit of moderation. And then on Thursday I ended up fasting just because I was like, you know what, I feel kind of bad about what I did the next day. I'm like, I'm like, here I am, it's Thursday weigh-in day, and that's me Wednesday night. I mean, so, I was like, I knew that I was working pretty hard on the weight loss this last week or whatever, with some decent fasts in there and everything like that. So I had a feeling I was going to be down, and you know what, we might as well just go ahead and get into the grand finale here. I was Yeah, I was down. I think it was another 3 pounds. 283.9. I am now down 40 pounds and 7 ounces total. I have 9.3 pounds left until I get to take my wife on a sushi date. Really can't wait for that sushi date. Um, I have 59.3 pounds left to win the bet, which I'm pushing my ass, man. We're 2 months in, got 10 months, basically got 10 months to lose 59.3 pounds, which sounds very achievable, and I think it will be very achievable. But that's still 1.4 pounds a week over the next 44 weeks. And that's some holidays in there. That's like some tailgates in there. I think I got 5 vacations planned. There's a lot of shit that could derail me, could set me back. So I'm confident, not cocky, not overly. I'm not. I'm confident, just not. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm not being an asshole about it, plain and simple. So I know what I need to do. I know I need to really buckle down when it comes to vacation. Like I was saying before, I really am gonna try and make sure that I'm using the stairs, I'm walking more, I don't need that extra little bit of this. If I can cut out my carbs with this, or no bun with that, or this or that, I am definitely going to be still enjoying myself. I am planning on drinking beer. I'm planning on having the cocktails I want, whiskeys, whatever. the foods that I want, but it's gonna be the foods that I really want. It's not gonna be unnecessary bullshit. Um, I know I'm gonna have some mashed potatoes because that's, like I said, one of my favorite sides. I am 100% gonna have some mashed potatoes. If I get a burger, I don't really need a bun. I'm at that point to where I could give a shit about a bun, you know? So just little stuff like that. So I'm going to try and make good decisions. Uh, I'm under 2 weeks now before I go on vacation. I was really, really hoping that I could hit my 50-pound goal before vacation. Maybe with the fasting, the bone broth fasting, maybe. But I mean, 9.3 pounds is kind of going to be kind of pushing it um, over the next 2 weeks. But we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Worst case scenario, um, it's just gonna have to wait. So everything in time, everything in time. I'm not pressing about it, but I can't wait to talk to you guys next week about some more results, week 9, and let you know how the bone broth fast went. But in the meantime, like I was saying, people are hitting me up with some messages. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, hit me up. I am an open book. I will tell you anything. Yeah, pretty much pretty much that's all I got for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and this was week 8. See you in week 9.